Welcome everyone. So this video is about, so you can say that this is a crash course for Swift 3. So if you have some experience about Swift and you want to learn Swift 3, then this is the best video for you, because in this single video I will teach you each and everything that you need to know about Swift 3 before developing iOS 10 apps. So without wasting any time, let's open our Xcode 8 and I will create a playground for you where I will teach you all different aspects of the new programming language Swift 3. Let's name this Swift and press next. I will create this in my desktop. Okay, so let's wait till the playground is being set up. I should remove this line of code. Okay, so now we will start with Swift. So let's first discuss what are the different topics that we are going to cover in this video. The first thing we are going to cover, and I think it will be variables and constants, and the second thing I think we should cover strings. The third thing is we should cover conditionals, and fourth thing I think we should cover functions, and then we should cover arrays, and then there are dictionary, and there are loops and optionals, and there are classes and objects. And I don't think so any topic is left which is used in developing iPhone apps. So I think these 8-9 topics are enough for you to learn Swift 3. Basically this is the basic knowledge that you require before you start building iPhone and iPad apps. So the first topic is variables and constants. So let's start by learning what is variables. Give it some space. Okay, so basically you can consider variable as a container in which we can store any kind of values. So variables can be of different types. Suppose integer, which will accept only integer values; double or float, which will include decimal point values; and it can be of type boolean, which will accept true or false; or a string type, which will accept only string values. Okay, so let's see how we can declare a variable in Swift 3. So there is a keyword called var, and after that keyword you have to write the name of the variable that you want to give. Let's suppose I want to give age, and separating by a colon you have to give what type of variable that you want. Suppose age is always integer, so I will give it a int, and after that I will set its value by giving a equal sign. Let's say age is 22. So this is how you declare a simple variable in Swift 3. And this declaration of int is optional, because there is something called type inference in Swift. So basically what this is, it will automatically guess what the type of the variable is. So let's check this by an example. Let's suppose I am giving a variable, and let's say it is months, and I'm setting it equal to 12. So we haven't defined any type for the month, but Swift is very intelligent, and it will automatically infer that it is an integer. So to check whether this is an integer or not, we have to hold the option key, and you will see that a question mark sign will appear, and then you have to give a single click. So you can see that in declaration it is giving us variables, months and int, which means Swift has automatically inferred this is an int type value. In the similar way we can define a float value, so float or a double. So basically we use double because it has got more precision, so we can assign any value like 100.50. But let's suppose we try to give age a decimal value, then we will see what will happen. So I will give 12.60, and if we press enter, so you can see that there is a red error which you click, which means that cannot assign value of tile double to int. So basically this means that integer value cannot take any decimal values. Okay, and in the same way we can create boolean values also. So we'll assign it true, and if we will command click and see this, you can see that this is a type of bool which only takes two value. Either answer can be true or it can be false. Okay, so this was about variables in Swift 3, and now let's learn about constants. I think I should remove this line. Okay, so let's see what are constants. So basically constants can be considered similar to a variable. The only difference is that once a value is assigned to a constant, it cannot be reassigned. So let's say it is declared by a keyword called let, and let's say I have given let pi equal to 3.14, then it is a constant. So if we again try to change the value of pi, let's say I want to give it 6.28, so you will see that it will raise an error for us because cannot assign value to a let constant, because it is a constant, so new value cannot be assigned to it. Give it some space. Okay, so basically this is a constant. All the things are similar as variable. The only difference is that we cannot reassign the values of a constant. Constant can be of any type. It can be of integer, double, or boolean. Let's try an integer constant. Let's say age, and it will be 20. And for the boolean, I think let's give it okay, I think I should give it false, and we have already taken age, so I think I should give it age 1. Okay, so this was about constants in Swift. Now the third topic which we need to learn is conditional. So basically conditionals are used to change the control flow of a program. So in a simple program, execution is done line by line. But suppose we don't want to do the execution line by line, and we want to execute some other statements by skipping some statements, then conditional statements are used. So for conditional statements, we use if, else, and else if. So let's build a simple program to demonstrate what are conditionals. Okay, so I will let my age equal to, I think I should give it 22, and now if we will do if my age is equal to 22, I will print my age is my age. Okay, and we can do else if my age is equal to, let's say, 50, then we can print my age is my age, which will display 50. And in the third condition, we can simply do else, and we can print my age is not 50 or 22. Okay, so if we see the output, you can see that it is giving us my age is 22. This is because we have assigned my age equal to 22, and you can see that the first condition, if my age double equals. So now let's understand what's the difference between single equal sign and a double equal sign. So basically single equal sign is for assigning a value, and double equal sign is for comparing the value. So here this is 22 and this is 22, so both are equals, so it will return true and it will print this statement. So let's change the age to be 50. So now what will happen is our first condition will fail and second condition will run, and it will print my age is 50. and let's try some different age, let's say 98, and now you will see that the third statement will run and it will print my age is not 50 or 22. Okay, so this is about a simple conditional statement, and instead of double equal sign we can also use sign like less than or greater than. So let me give an example of this. So we will do if age is less than 98, we will print let's say print I am small. mm, okay, and else if we can do my, oh, not age, it should be my age. We can do else if my age is greater than 98, and then we can print I am not small, and in the else condition we can print what should I print? Okay, I don't know. Okay, so you can see that my age is here 98, that's why it is running the third statement. And if we do this to less than equal to, then it will run the first statement because the first condition will be true. So basically this was all about conditional statements in Swift 3, and now the new topic comes and it is called functions. So let's learn something about functions. Let's get some space. Where the hell is this? Okay. Okay, so now let's understand why we need a function in Swift. So let's say we have to calculate a square of a number. So basically square of a number can be calculated by multiplying both the numbers. Okay, so let's say we have to calculate the numbers 100 times. So we have to write the code 100 times. We have to multiply every number 100 times, because suppose that for the first time we want to calculate the square of 4, then we have to write code 4 into 4 and then print it. And second time, let's say the number is 6, then we will have to do 6 into 6 and then print the value of 6 into 6. So basically if there are 100 numbers, then it will take a lot of code. So to keep it simple, we use functions. So let's see how functions can be defined. So function starts with a simple keyword which is called func. Okay, and then after that we have to write a name of the function. So I am giving the name of the function which is print line, and then a parenthesis which accepts arguments, and then curly braces. So this is a simple function. In this function I will just print out this is a function. So first I will tell you the three different types of functions. The second one is I think I should print age. Okay, and I will accept an age which is of type int, and I will just print I am years old. Okay, and that last kind of is square. Okay, so for square, not square, let's say multiply. Okay, print multiplication. So it will take two numbers. Let's say first it is of type int, and second it is also of type int, and it will return an integer. And what we can do is simply we can do return first into second. Okay, so these are the three different types of functions. Okay, so let's understand them one by one. So in the first kind of function, there are no arguments and there is no return type. So basically what this function will do, when we will call this function, it will only print what is inside it. So let's call the function, it is print line. So you can see that in our console there, this will just print this is a function. And if we see the second kind of function, it has arguments but there is no return type. So it is accepting a value called age and then it is printing my age. So let's call this function We can call this by doing print age, and we will pass any age. Let's pass 50. So you will see that it will automatically print I am 50 years old. So for the third kind of function, it is accepting arguments as well as it is returning the multiplication. Okay, so we use this arrow, and after that we write the return type. So how we will call this function? We will simply do print multiplication, and we will pass two different numbers. Let's pass 10 and 29, and you will see that its answer will be, oh, it is returning. So we also have to print it. So when a function is returning, we have to store its value. So we will do let's multiplication is equal to this, and then we will print the result of, okay, we will print the result of multiplication. Now you will see that the result is 290. So basically this was about functions in Swift. Now the next topic is arrays. Okay, so let's understand what are arrays. Okay, so far we have learned about variables and constants. So they are only capable of storing a single value, whether it is a variable or a constant. So basically arrays are used whenever we want to store more than one value. Okay, so suppose let's say we want to store 100 odd numbers, then instead of creating 100 different variables and storing their values, we can create a single array which can store 100 different odd numbers. So basically for this purpose arrays are used. Arrays can contain integer, double, boolean values. It can also contain arrays inside arrays, and also string values. Okay, so let's see how we create array. So basically we either we have to create a constant array or a variable array. So let's first understand how we can create a constant array. So we define constant by using a keyword called let, and after that let's name this odd array, and after equal sign we can just use two square brackets, and inside this we can give as many values as we want separated by a comma. Let's say I will give these different values. Okay, I think this is enough. So basically this is storing, I think, first 10 odd numbers. Okay, yes, these are 10. So basically this is storing 10 different odd numbers, and suppose you want to check how many elements are there in an array, so you can do odd array dot count, and you will see that in the right side it will print 10. And you can also print this in the console by doing odd array dot count, and you will see that at downside it will print 10, which basically means that there are 10 elements in this array. And let's now create an variable array. So we will do var and say names and we will give it some names. I think I will give my first name. Okay, and let's give it some other name also. I think I should give this. Okay, now we can also check how many elements are there for this array also, because this is a variable array and both have the count property in which we can see how many elements are there inside an array. You can see that it is printing 4. Okay, so let's suppose we want to add an element to an array. So how we can do this? So we will do odd array dot append, and then we will add the element called 21. But you will notice that in this case it will show an error. Can you guess why? Okay, let me tell you. This is because we have created a constant array at the top, so it cannot be changed. So we will remove this, and we will change our names array, because it is an variable array. So let's think of a name. Okay, so let's give this Lisa. Okay, now if we try to print the count, So you will see that the count will have increased by 1. So you will see that now the count is 5 because we have appended the value at the end. Now we will see how we can add value to a particular index. So we will do names dot, I think it is not add, I don't remember the method actually. I don't remember that method, so you can Google it and you will get the method. So let's check the method to delete elements. So we can do just remove at, so it will remove the method at a particular index. So let's do 4 and it will remove the element at the fourth, which means it is Lisa. It will remove Lisa. Now the names dot count only will 4 because we have removed the last element. So now we will see how we can access the any particular element in an array. So basically counting in programming starts from 0. So if there are 10 elements in an array, it means the index of first will be 0 and so on. So the last element will have index n minus 1, which will be 10 minus 1 equal to 9. So we will do odd array, and let's say we have to print the fifth odd number, then we have to type 4, and you will see that it will print the fifth odd number, which is 9. So this is first, this is second, this is third, fourth and fifth. So this is how we print different elements of an array. So I think this is it about arrays. If you want to learn different functions about arrays, you can go to the Apple's official website. So let me show it to you first. So you can just do Apple, or you can just simply type arrays in Swift 3 and it will show you the link where you will find information about arrays. So you can see that this is the first link. Okay, so it is showing different collection types. So collection types are arrays and dictionary, which I will tell you. So you can see that you can read more about arrays and dictionaries whenever you feel. If you are missing something, then you can read this. And also you see the left side, there are different topics which you can easily read from the Apple developer website. Okay. So now I think we have to learn about, we have to learn about dictionaries. So let's do dictionary. So basically dictionaries are similar to arrays, but there is a one major difference, that in arrays elements can be accessed by a fixed index, that is from 0 to the length minus 1. But in dictionaries we can create our own index. Okay, so let's create our dictionary. So I will do variable person, and this is dictionary, and let's say I will give my first key to be name, and by colon I can give its value. Okay, and then by comma I can give another key. Let's give this an age, and then I can print, let my age is 22. Let's give it another key, country, and let's give it a value India. Okay, so this is a simple dictionary, in which basically dictionary is a combination of key value pairs. So the first key is name, second key is age, and the third key is country, and all the three things are values. And to access the access method for dictionary is same for the arrays. So we can just do person, and then in the parentheses we can give the key. Let's give it name, and after that it was age, and after that it was country. Okay, so you can see that it has the similar method to access any value. So now let's see if we want to add value in the dictionary. So we can do person dot update value. So let's say value should be uh, what should I do? Okay, let's do male. Oh, not this. What is this happening? Okay, male, and the key should be gender. Okay, so if we try to print our person dictionary, Now you will see that it has 4 keys. You can see that we have added the gender key and the value is male. Now let's see how we can delete. Okay, this is the method called remove and it will take an key. So I think I should give gender, and now let's print person and see what happens. Oops, it's showing an error. I think this is not the method. So what we can do is do person dot remove value. This is the method. The key is gender, and let's print person again and let's see what happens. So now you will see that if this will print, so let's wait. Okay, so now you can see that gender has been removed from the dictionary. We can also print person dot count to check how many key value pairs are there inside our dictionary. So you can see that there are 3 value pairs. Okay, so if we want to empty our dictionary, then what we can do is we can just do person dot remove all and it will remove all the elements. And now if we try to print person dot count, then it will print 0 because we have removed all the different elements. So if you see the output, you can see that it is printing 0 because we have removed all the different elements from the dictionary. So this was all about dictionaries in Swift, and now we will learn about loops. Okay, so basically loops are used to iterate over arrays and dictionary. So let's say we have an array which stores even numbers. Okay, so let's store some even numbers. I think 5 is enough. So basically there are two different kinds of loop. The first one is for loop and the other one is while loop. So we can do is for, and we can do number in even numbers, and we can just print number. Okay, so if you see our console, then you can see that it will print all the elements of the array one by one. Okay, so now if I increase the size, come on, why it isn't working? Okay, I think it is not resizing. So you can see that 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and it is printing all the different numbers one by one. Let's try this once again. For odd in odd array, I will print odd, and now it will print all the different odd numbers. It is running. Okay, so now you can see that it is printing all the odd numbers. And there is one more thing that we need to know about for loop. Suppose that we have to print counting from 1 to 10, so we can do for a in 1 3.10, and then we can just print a. Okay, so you will see that it will print the counting from 1 to 10. And let's say we don't want to print 10, then we can, instead of 3 dots, we can use 2 dots and a less than sign, and in this way it will only print 1 to 9. So you will see console, it is printing counting from 1 to 9. Okay, so this was about for loops, and now we have to learn about while loops. And while loops are almost similar to a for loop, only the syntax is different. Okay, so we can do it like this. While, let's create a variable a equal to 1, and we can do a is less than 11, and then we can just print a, and after that we can do a equal to a plus 1. Okay, so what it will do is, the first it will print 1, then it will increase a, and then it will print once again, which will print 2, and so on. And the once a is equal to 11, so 11 is not less than 11, it will fail the condition and it will exit the loop. So this is similar to the for loop, but mainly for loops are used in Swift language. So now is the time to learn about optionals. Okay, so basically optionals are also very important topic. So basically the main reason for what should I say, the main reason for optional is that suppose some variables have nil values, so in that case our application actually crashes. So to handle those cases we use optional, because optional can either take a nil value or some other value. So let's understand how we can create optionals. We will do variable, let's say we will do name, it is of type, let's say string, and after string we will use a question mark. So basically question mark means that it is an optional. So if we try to print name now, so it will print nil. You can see that this is printing nil because this is an optional, it can have value or it cannot. So when it does not have any value, it prints nil. So let's assign this a value, let's give it my name, and now we will print. So if we try to print name, so what you will see is it will print the name, but it will give us like this optional, and in parentheses it will give Samarth, because this is an optional string. So for that what we need to do is we need to unwrap the optional, and unwrapping is done by using an exclamation mark. So we can just put an exclamation mark after name, and if you print, then you can see that it will print my name, which is Samarth Pabhuwal. There is another method of creating optionals in which we don't have to unwrap it while printing. So what we can do is we can do it like this, where last name string, instead of question mark we will use exclamation mark. And if we try to print last name, this time it should show nil because we have not set any value to it. But after that, okay, now you will see that it is showing us an error because this is unwrapping it automatically. So for this what we can do is we use a construct called if let. So what we can do is if let last equal to last name, then we will print last, else we can say there is nothing inside the optional. So now you will see that it will say there is nothing inside the optional because the if condition will fail. Now what we will do is we will give some values to the optional. So let's give it a last name, and now you will see that automatically the if condition will run. Okay, so now you can see that if condition is running and it is printing my last name. So this was about optionals. So basically optionals are used whenever we want to check this condition. Whenever we are downloading data from the internet, then sometimes it happens that the network fails and we are unable to download the data, and in that case our application crashes. So for that we need optional so that it can use a nil value to store the failing condition. Okay, now the last topic of this video which we need to learn is, I think this is classes and objects. Okay, so I will, okay, so let's say we are creating a class called vehicle. Okay, so we will do class vehicle, and inside this what we can do is vehicle has, oh, it does not take parenthesis. Vehicle obviously has vehicles, so we can do private var tires, and it is of type obviously integer. Okay, and private var color, and it is of type optional. Now I will create public methods for them so that we can access them outside our class. So we will do, actually we will name it underscore tires and underscore colors. Okay, now we can do public var tires, it is of type int, and we can do if underscore tires is equal to nil, then we can set tires equal to, let's say, 4, and then we can return underscore tires. Let's do this for color also. If color equal to nil, then we will set color equal to red, and then we will return the color. Okay, why is it showing an error? Okay, it is gone automatically. So let's create an type object. Let's create car of type vehicle, and let's print the values. We will do car dot color, car dot tires. So you can see that it has automatically grabbed the values, which is red, and for tire it has grabbed 4. Okay, so this is what we call as getters and setters in Swift 3. Okay, so this was about mainly basic about classes, and this is how we create an object of a class. So I think this video is over. I have taught you different topics such as variables, strings, conditional functions, arrays, dictionary, loop, optionals, and classes and objects. So basically this was a crash course in Swift, so I hope you have cleared some concepts by watching this video. So I think I should go off now. Thank you for watching this video.